and welcome to our webinar today introducing TecSurge OnDemand to you. To start, please allow me to introduce your presenters of the day. First, Mr. Valdir Pimentel, our Service Center Manager and owner of TecSurge OnDemand. Then Mr. Patrick McKinley, our Principal Consultant, and myself, Mark Albani, the Marketing Director, who will be your host today for this webinar. A few points on housekeeping. We are recording this session and we will share the presentation and the recording with you in follow-up to this session today. There will be an email that will come out in a couple of days. We will take your questions during the session and respond to them at the end. To ask a question, please use the interactive screen that you should see. There is a control panel on the right-hand side and in it a line called questions, which you can expand. Just type any questions in there that will come up during the webinar. We will take those and, time permitting, respond to them towards the end of the session. The webinar we will expect to take around 40 minutes before we actually start the Q&A session. We will lighten up the webinar by 5 quick polls where we would like to gather your feedback, and we would appreciate if you would respond to them, as well as when we finish the webinar there will be a quick survey that we would appreciate if you would complete. As some of you are joining us in a webinar for the first time today, please allow me a minute for a general introduction of TecSurge. You may have seen and read our vision and statement on how we work on the website. So I'd like to focus on the quote of our President and CEO. TecSurge is passionate about making the use of complex engineering software easy. So simply said, we aspire to make you experience our passion and dedication at every occasion. So let's look at what we're talking about today. About a year and a half ago we observed new challenges and opportunities around engineering software and applications, such as the demand for system administration services, which we will talk about today. We structured our business to cover 3 business lines, however: TecSurge OnDemand, TecSurge Academy, as well as TecSurge Service. OnDemand and Academy are the newly launched offerings from TecSurge. The TecSurge Service continues the tradition of high-quality professional services that you may have previously known from us under the name of CXperts. We strive to expand your capability with TecSurge Service. We boost your knowledge with TecSurge Academy, where we provide a solution to your engineering application, education, and training challenges through our online learning management system and tailored e-learning materials. In this webinar, of course, we will focus on introducing the benefits of TecSurge OnDemand. In this area, we strive to sharpen your business focus. We spent a year to develop this offer, and today we introduce it to you, our customers, and we'll show you how it works from an end-user point of view. TecSurge OnDemand takes the years of practical experience with complex engineering software solutions to deliver a step change in flexibility to you, our clients. At this point now, I'd like to introduce you to Patrick, our Principal Consultant, to tell you more. Patrick?
Thanks very much, Mark. At this point, I'd like to give an overview of what we'll present today. So I'm going to outline some industry trends and drivers that we've observed, and then introduce our TecSurge OnDemand solution. We'll explain the user experience, our delivery process, and the offering we have available today. Finally, I'll take you through our pricing model before we hold a question and answer session and take some time to respond to any questions you raised during the webinar. So first of all, I'd like to talk about some industry drivers. I think it's important to reflect on some of these drivers that have led us to the inception of TecSurge OnDemand. Firstly, and very topically, with today's low global commodity prices, is the challenge caused by the variability of demand, which seems to be a constant in the cyclical resources sector. Low commodity prices lead directly to a reduction in capital investment and the capital projects, which are the lifeblood of EPC businesses. Of course, this variability acts in both directions. It's difficult and expensive to retain good staff in boom times, and very hard to justify overhead costs when the project pipeline is empty. Secondly, a pair of industry trends which have a related impact on resourcing are the globalization of project execution, often referred to as global work sharing, and the need to organise people to ensure business continuity in the face of contingencies such as natural disasters. Both of these trends present challenges to organisations in providing expert services efficiently where and when they're needed. Next, most businesses strive to attain efficiencies by standardising processes and technologies. However, this worthy goal is often thwarted by the demands of projects, clients and partners who have different or even unique requirements. In addition, in the engineering systems field, knowledge sharing is limited to personnel working together within a single organisation, and the only opportunity to discover and incorporate the learnings of others is via staff turnover. Finally, engineering systems themselves present a difficult challenge. On the one hand, the market-leading products evolve relatively slowly and incrementally, meaning that the skills required to support and administer them effectively are largely undifferentiated and operate as a cost centre within the business. On the other hand, adoption of new technologies and products requires vision combined with active research and innovation in order to identify and exploit their potential. The necessary investment in these areas is often perceived as a luxury and is considered an easy target when costs are placed under pressure. Mark, I think we have a poll at this point.
Very much for your participation. Now back to Patrick for the next agenda item.
Thanks again, Mark. Our next topic is to introduce TecSurge OnDemand itself with what is OnDemand. So at the beginning of 2015, we came to a realization that these industry trends and the general trend towards outsourcing and managed service provision in the broader IT industry were pointing strongly toward a model which was currently underserved in the market. Based on this realization, and its almost ideal fit to our existing strengths and capabilities, we've invested heavily in researching it and developing TecSurge OnDemand, the first managed services for engineering software offering in the market. In simple terms, OnDemand allows you to assign responsibility for the support and administration of your engineering technology experts dedicated to excellence in this area. This in turn provides you with vastly improved flexibility and scalability, and frees you to focus on using your applications to produce business value, rather than being distracted by unproductive support and system administration activities. Unlike other generic IT service providers, specializes exclusively in the domain, applications and data used every day in the engineering industry. We speak your language and understand your needs. TecSurge OnDemand is structured to deliver a complete outsourced solution for your engineering applications, or to augment your existing in-house capabilities where you have functional gaps or additional resource requirements. So to further explain TecSurge OnDemand, we can describe it as being built upon three pillars. Firstly, our service desk ensures that every user request is handled according to its corresponding service level agreement and allows us to track, manage and automate our service delivery. We've adopted processes based on the industry standard ITIL framework and communicate our service status and compliance regularly to allow you to monitor our performance and for our own continuous improvement. Our service desk incorporates an easy-to-use self-service portal, enabling your personnel to request support and services and to monitor or follow up on the status of outstanding requests. Our Service Operations Center consists of our growing team of application engineers in Cebu in the Philippines and is backed up by our senior application specialists in Singapore. Strict service standards and quality procedures, as well as rigorous and in-house training, ensure first-class outcomes for our customers. The third element of the solution is based on over 12 years of expertise and experience in the industry and equips us with the knowledge required to take on your most challenging problems. If client or project requirements exceed the scope of the user support and administration services provided by OnDemand, we also have the capability to propose and execute cost-effective project-based solutions to meet your demands, making TecSurge your reliable one-stop shop for engineering systems services. So the next topic is how OnDemand meets the industry challenges described earlier. Simply put, TecSurge OnDemand addresses multiple industry challenges at once, enabling you to sharpen your business focus and unlock hidden potential. One of the biggest benefits of TecSurge OnDemand is being able to easily and quickly scale the service up and down to match your workload. You can avoid the headaches of recruiting, training and retaining expert staff while only paying for the resources that you need when you need them. Due to our remote access service provision model, TecSurge OnDemand is available where and when you need it, ensuring you get prompt resolutions for your support queries and reliable fulfillment of administration service requests. Another key benefit is realized when project or client requirements call for skills that you do not ordinarily retain in-house. TecSurge is independent of any particular solution vendor and equips you with the ability to rapidly resource for such requirements, with our many years of industry experience and broad product knowledge providing the assurance you expect. As a specialized service provider and a provider of professional services to the industry, it's in our own business interest to retain deep expertise with legacy and current products, as well as keep abreast of new products and technologies entering the market. TecSurge customers gain benefits from this via our proactive advice and suggestions, and the industry-leading skills and techniques applied to your systems by our expert staff. Similarly, because it's all we do, we can invest the time and effort to ensure that our operating procedures produce the best possible outcomes for our customers and have the unique opportunity to validate and optimize them against clients and projects from around the world. Finally, because we use the same applications as you do, we understand your needs and speak the same language, ensuring your requests are addressed with a minimum of frustration and a high level of user satisfaction. We believe this is fundamental to working in a true partnership with our customers and a prerequisite to delivering the highest levels of service achievable.
Thanks, Mark. Let's talk about how is the experience when you use our on-demand solution. Well, first thing to say is that it's easy to contact us. You can do it by email, phone, or using our portal. No matter the method you choose, everything will be stored into our system for any tracking and historical proposals. But using our portal is always a good alternative. Once it's completely user-friendly and give to all users the ability to get in contact with any item in your catalog, as well as check the status of a request, see articles, and send messages to the consultant who is helping in a request. Well, we are talking about our portal, so let's have a look on its homepage. It's really simple, as you've seen. It's a very clean interface. Beginning on the top right-hand corner, we can see two buttons. One helps the user to see if some action is demanding attention, and the other is mainly to track your requests and send messages to the TecSurge consultant in charge of a request. You can also see a search bar where users can type anything and system will provide offerings and articles that come towards what the user is typing. On the right pane, we can see the news, which provide relevant information about portals maintenance and news for all on-demand customers. Below the news is the panel for recent users' activities and articles. This is an interesting session because we on-demand customers and TecSurge, we can provide relevant articles related to any offering, like a customer-specific instruction for any system. It's good to mention here that everything inside the portal is separated, so the users can see only articles and catalog items related to his own company, and no company can see the content of another and vice versa. Now, last but not least, are the catalog area. This area is composed by buttons reflecting the application names. Note that there are two kinds of buttons. The factory one is for on-demand tasks, and the gear one is for our professional services. Let's see these in details. Okay, to better understand TecSurge OnDemand, let's separate it in four key functions: user support, administrative services requests, scheduled services, and reporting, which I will talk about a little bit later. For the moment, let's go through the three first. User support, also known as help desk. It's a single point of contact where users open requests if any problem is happening. If it's a really bad situation like a production down, or if some urgent document is not being issued and the production is somehow compromised, then we will have a specific incident management with a very brief time to respond and act. We will be together with you to solve the incident as soon as possible and involve anyone in the loop, including the system vendor. On the other hand, if it's just a question about the system operation and orientation or something that not keeps the user or the production stopped, it will follow our normal support process, and of course, an answer will be provided accordingly, also in an SLA agreed time and involving the system vendor if necessary. Okay, now about our administration requests. Those offerings are the ones that you usually ask for your system administrator. They are tasks like create a new project, restore an archival, create a new user or new symbol, install a new workstation. As I mentioned before, they are located in our catalog as a factory icon, and they are product specific, so the user goes straight to the product in their catalog and then pick up the offering. So, by the way, let me show you something. You can access these screens when you select the requests link, which is under the top right-hand button at the OnDemand portal. See, there is a green arrow pointing to it. Note that you can see in which step you are in the process. And if you want, you can also send messages to the TecSurge consultant in charge of the request. This is transparency when we are talking about delivering services and of course an historical for further reference. Also important to mention here is that this traceability is for any kind of request in any TecSurge OnDemand function. And only the customer can accept an answer and close a request. But TecSurge OnDemand is not based only in something that you request. We definitely will not keep stopped waiting for an action call. We will also work behind the scenes to maintain everything running properly, providing reliability and performance in the systems. Moreover, we maintain constantly vigilance in the backups in order to get them ready anytime needed in case of unfortunately disaster. Some samples of scheduled services are day-by-day backup and period backup with verification, storage monitoring, license use monitoring, database maintenance and optimization. The proposal of these scheduled services is to run all these tasks constantly, and of course the efficacy will depend on the level of the access that we have into the IT landscape, which I'll talk more about on the next topic. But of course, as much level of access we have, more preventive and corrective actions we can do. And thirdly, the customer will be contacted immediately in case of any exceptional action like immediate software installation, data adjustment, server reboot, or if another urgent advice is required. TecSurge services is also available in our catalog. Merge or convert models, create a set of piping specification, or any catalog for application, create automations are some samples of these kind of services. They are faced like projects because they can be done in a few hours, and also because we need to elaborate a proper planning with a working breakdown structure, understand all variables involved, create a scope of services, and then ask for a fitted budget for it. But this is not the only way for you to contact our specialized services. This is only a shortcut. You can contact us anytime to ask for professional services. Okay, let's go to the next topic and see our process, but before that, Mark, have a quick poll for you. Okay, thanks, Mark. Let's now talk about our process. If I could summarize our process in only one word, it would be procedures. Procedures keep us focused and assure our quality. Procedures make us not bother the customer with dumb questions. That's why we are developing them for many situations, in all supported systems. They support us internally when we are attending a requested task, but also help the support depending on the nature of for troubleshooting any problem. In the left, we have a sample of one process to create a smart plan material user. Basically, the process consists in confirm that you have all information. If you don't have, check the customer handbook and only contact the user in the last case. Proceed with the tasks and then validate if the created user has all the necessary rights and access everything needed. and only respond to the user requesting acceptance of the provided answer if all necessary checks were made. Have you noticed that I mentioned Customer Handbook? So what is it about? Customer Handbook is about a document that captures specific information related to the user's project, systems, IT landscapes, and other relevant information like a specific SPMAT form, a customization, or any integration between systems. This handbook will be used internally to provide all relevant information to be potentially used during the attendance of a request. And this is a way for us to avoid ping-pong calls. And I call these ping-pong calls because that's the calls where the consultant keeps asking and bothering the user with basic questions, or don't go strictly to the point, keep constantly contacting the user many times, asking for pieces of information, and losing precious time without solving anything. Now, remember when I was talking about scheduled services and I mentioned about our level of access? Let's have a look on it and see how it is part of our process and how it is a very important part in our delivering efficiency. Well, when we talk about level of access, once on-demand is based on remote access, we can divide our way of remote access in three: assisted, direct, and automated. Let's have a look on each. Assisted. In this way, we access the environment indirectly with the user on the other side. In this way, we will send verbal or written instructions and of course be together in a web collaboration tool for remote desktop sharing like WebEx, Skype, GoToMeeting, or JoinMe. Now, when I talk about direct access, I mean to have direct remote access to the servers and workstations in order to do all the actions as fast as possible. In this case, we enter into a server, fix something, if necessary make a remote access with the user and show the solution for the problem. This way is much more fast and efficient as the assisted access and enables us to make much more proactive actions. Automated. In this third scenario, we have full access to infrastructure automation platform, making ourselves the configuration and administration of the customer-specific landscape. To use this option, TecSurge relies on technologies provided by the biggest players in the world like Amazon, VMware, or Microsoft. This alternative is the one that provides maximum efficiency in the process. Well, in fact, we also have cases about it, but this is a story for other webinar. Anyway, if you get interested in our hosting solution, just have a look in our webpage, LinkedIn, or just contact us. To close this topic, remember when I mentioned reporting when I was talking about the 4 key functions when you use TecSurge OnDemand? So this is the end phase of our ongoing process. We provide for the customer's elected key contacts a detailed report containing a dashboard with all activities that run during the period. Some information in these dashboards are SLA index, summary of requested tasks and user supports, an overview of scheduled tasks completed, a list of any customer action required, and a notification of ongoing scheduled services. Okay, that's it for our process.
Now back to Valdir, who will share the next agenda item with you.
Okay, Mark. Now let's see our offer. Right now, we are providing on-demand services for those Intergraph products. Intergraph Smart 3D and Smart Plant Electrical Instrumentation Materials, PNID, Reference Data, and PDS2 for those customers who still have their legacy or any running project into this platform. We also have the necessary skills to provide services for Aviva, Autodesk, Bentley, CA Experts, and any other engineering system provider. But for this moment, those services are still under customer demand. At this moment, and in line with the current customer demand, our services centers in Singapore and the Philippines can provide support in 12 time zones from Western Europe to Pacific region. But we are working in our transition to 24/7 operation, which will allow us to cover America in a few months. But anyway, my American friends, don't worry. If you'd like TecSurge OnDemand right now, we certainly can cover your region by demand. Just let us know. One big benefit of TecSurge OnDemand is to be able to easily and quickly scale the service up and down to match your workload. Traditionally, recruiting and retaining experienced professionals in system administration or expected users for the engineering application is usually a very time-consuming and expensive activity. So what we propose is to work together with your administration team, or you can use us as your primary system administrative team, because we certainly can offer you the expertise and the advice that you need. And see, everything that we are speaking here is aligned with your eventual cost-saving challenges, principally nowadays. We will keep taking care of your assets, human and technological. We will take care of your ongoing projects and legacies with reliability and quality for you keep focus on your business. We are here to save you time and money, so we design a pricing model to closely track your actual demand for support and system administration by allowing you to select a plan and a duration corresponding to your project workload. This graph illustrates the difference between a traditional in-house approach and a scalable solution. See, the green line of TecSurge OnDemand will follow your needs. And how do we achieve this scalability and flexibility? Simply, we base the TecSurge OnDemand pricing on the number of the active users of the application and not on the number of the software license that you have. We believe that this model is the key to delivering flexibility by matching your project workload, allowing you to support administration costs fall during periods of lower utilization and rise proportionately with increasing activity. At the beginning, you subscribe to a plan based on your forecast usage for a predefined number of months. Each plan has a per month fixed cost, covering the support and administration services we will provide. Additional usage above plan will be charged as a per user or per month rate. Each plan entitles you to unlimited numbers of support and service requests based on assumptions that are documented in a contract. These assumptions are reviewed in a predefined date, and the pricing is adjusted to reflect the reality of your actual demand. Okay, let's do the final quick pull before Patrick says how to start using OnDemand.
Patrick, who will explain to you how to get started with TecSurge OnDemand. Patrick?
Yes, thanks very much, Valdir and Mark. So getting started with TecSurge OnDemand involves three very simple steps. The first step is simply to contact us where we can give you a demonstration and start to discuss your requirements. Based on those requirements, we can develop a commercial proposal for your review. The second step, once you proceed, is to complete the onboarding process for the applications that have been selected within the scope, which I'll come back to in just a moment. And finally, once you are on board, you can start enjoying the benefits of TecSurge OnDemand and the scalability and flexibility that it brings to your organization. So next, I just want to touch on the subject of onboarding briefly. The onboarding process for a customer, a TecSurge OnDemand customer, consists of three distinct phases. In the first step, basic commercial parameters are determined, which will be applied to services delivered under the contract. So those commercial terms include things such as the number of users, locations, and the application portfolio in question. It also includes, of course, usual legal terms such as non-disclosure agreements and service level agreements. In the second step, general onboarding topics are addressed and agreed. For more complex enterprise-wide applications where configuration and use can vary significantly between customers, this step may involve an on-premises workshop to collect business process and technical information needed to deliver support. As Valdir mentioned previously, the results of this workshop are documented in the customer handbook for our ongoing reference. Finally, when a specific service is activated, an automated application onboarding activity may be performed based on the parameters entered by the requester of the service. So at this point, we'll collect specific information about project names, users who access that project, database type, and software versions being utilized. So I hope you can see from this that getting started with TecSurge OnDemand process. And that brings us to the end of the webinar, and I'd like to finish up with a question and answer session where we can respond to any questions that you may have.
So allow me to close off the webinar and thank everybody for their attendance and the time today. Please do get your handout from the download area on your screen if you haven't done so earlier, or visit us simply on TecSurge.com and find the information there. Please give us your feedback on the exit survey, which will appear on your screen once I close this webinar. If you would like any immediate response to any of your questions or business inquiries, kindly contact our Global Sales Manager, Rangan Jayakrishnan, on the email address displayed on your screen. And as Valdia said previously, you can always connect with us on social media like LinkedIn. As I said initially, you will receive a follow-up email including the recording of this webinar and a download of a PDF version from this presentation. So thank you very much, everybody. Have a great day ahead and speak to you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.